battle with weight or food, I've got something just for you. Check out our free Facebook groups. Over at Food Addiction and Recovery, I'm over there waiting for you. We're going to walk this journey together. It's about getting real, sharing our stories, and lifting each other up. We're in this together every step of the way. And if you're curious about changing your life with keto, the Weight Loss Project is where you want to be. Coach Darcy is amazing. And together, we're not just talking about losing weight. We're talking about finding a happier, healthier you. So, what do you say? Are you ready to join us? The links are in the show notes below, and I'm telling you, this is more than an invite. It is the start of something great. We cannot wait to see you over there.
Hi. I was like, why was I not sharing now?
Exactly, because
We
I
got
put the wrong intro out there. So we are open with our closing today, and that actually gave you 1 minute and 30 seconds.
and I sat in there and I was like, we're sitting here for a while.
A long time. It's gonna be a show today, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
Sometimes we just have to do things backwards.
It's
Sometimes
fine.
you just wake up and it's a backwards day. So,
Mm-hmm.
hey,
Absolutely.
guess
Hey,
what?
what?
Today was our podcast release with our
Oh,
first
yay.
special guest.
I'm
That was
excited about that.
so much fun. I was listening to it today and I'm like, man, I forgot it was so good. Like she did
A
amazing.
lot of great information. Everybody needs to go check it out.
She
For
did
sure.
a great job. Dr. Vera Tarman was our guest, and she is the world's leading specialist in food addiction. I'm going to close this out, y'all. She's our leading specialist, the world's, in my opinion. I gave her that title, but she is one of the top specialists in food addiction.
Yeah.
Bitten Johnson being another one up there with just some radical messages of healing. When you talk about food addiction, we are literally the last house on the block when it comes to treatment and healing because it is so hard to heal. When you have an alcoholic, when you deal with alcoholism or you deal with a drug addict, it is a lot easier to heal with those kind of diagnosis because you can just remove the drug.
Yeah.
When you struggle with sugar and carbohydrate addiction and food addiction and volume eating and processed food addiction, it's very, very difficult to remove the drug because we have to go to the drug dealer, the grocery store every time. And so when you talk, and we live in a time right now of body positivity and shame based treatment or anti-shame based treatment where we can't feel bad about ourselves. I can't even advertise on Facebook with my company because it's shame. They say, well, you're making people feel bad. Well, I'm so glad I felt bad enough to change because if I hadn't, I don't know if I would be here today. I don't know if I would be here in one piece or if half of my body would be paralyzed because I had a stroke. Right. So, yeah. So shame based, I don't care what it takes. If it takes, for me, if it took shame, I'm healed now, and I've conquered that food addiction. And so, I love Vera's heart, and I loved that interview. I learned some more today. Sometimes when you're the interviewer, you kind of zone out because you're worried about how the show's going to go and you're worried about the direction of the show and you're listening for cues. I'm always listening for cues. When I'm interviewing you or when we're just doing a show together, I'm looking for cues. Sometimes we forget when we're not, when we're live versus when we're just recording our voices. Sometimes we forget those cues. But sometimes when you're looking for those cues and you're running the interview, you're listening to what the person's saying, but you're looking to, okay, where's this going to go next? So this morning when I listened to it, by the way, if you've not downloaded it, go over to Beyond the Scale, Weight Loss and Wellness on any of the podcast listening streams, and go download it today. You will want to hear what Dr. Vera Tarman has to say. She is the She is the author of the book Food Junkies, and she runs a free Facebook group called I'm Sugar Free, I'm Sugar Enough, Sugar Free, I'm Sugared Enough, something like that. Um, there's like 20,000 people in there. It's an amazing group. So run over there, download that the podcast today, and you will want to listen to it. And as soon as I bring it up here, I will um, I will drop the link in. So I want you to tell me, Coach, how are you doing?
I'm making it.
You had you kind of had a shaky week here
It's
with your
been
interwebs.
my webs were not wanting to work, and then our line got cut by accident, and then we literally, like, maybe 20 minutes before we started this, um he finished, and the boys, I hear from the other room, "We have Wi-Fi!"
Oh my goodness.
Dumb. It's real
Oh
dumb. We've been
yeah.
detoxing from our tablets. It's
Ooh.
amazing. Yeah.
Ooh.
Talk about detox. And you see week of hell.
Yeah.
You
What
see
have
it
they done?
different.
What have they done all week?
Well, we've been prepping for school, and I felt like, yes, we use the tablet a lot during the work hours, and then we also went to the pool. We did activity stuff, so
Uh
they
huh.
were sucked in. But it's amazing how addicted they are to media.
Yeah.
So we did a detox for them, and they understood. And then
Mm-hmm.
by that timeline, I said, they were like, it's time for our tablets. 'Cause,
Yeah.
but then between that and then they start school tomorrow, so we had to go
Oh.
do a bunch of that stuff, and it's been crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, for
So
sure. But yay
yeah,
for school.
yeah, yay
Tag
for
teachers, you're
school.
it.
Yep, they're looking forward to getting to know their teachers.
Yeah.
I think they are ready. I know
Yes.
that it's like, man, summer's just cut off short, but I think for the most part, one is
Yeah.
really ready. He was ready after, like, at the last day of school, he was ready to go back.
Yeah.
And the other one's like, if I don't like
Mm-mm.
school, I'm running away.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
an extreme.
No
He's an
drama there. He
extremist.
didn't get that from his auntie. What grade are they in this year?
So we've got a 6th grader and a 3rd grader.
Oh boy.
So, mhm.
Wow. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy
So,
stuff.
we'll see.
We had
We'll
a good
see.
weekend. We got to spend the weekend
Yeah,
together
we did.
and had a good time with our Jeeps.
Yep.
So, yeah,
It was
great,
fun.
great weekend. So, hey, I just dropped the link to our latest podcast. Just dropped that in the comments section. So, feel
Yeah.
free to check that
One
out.
other thing that we could talk about is our 30-day carnivore. We're gonna
Yes.
say this until the very last day.
Oh,
If you're
yeah.
not signed up,
Yeah.
then what are you waiting for? This
Right.
is an amazing entryway almost into what we're going to kind of talk about today.
Mm
But it's a great start
hmm. Mm hmm.
to, I don't know, a healthier you. It's a great challenge. And we were talking about the carnivore challenge.
Mm hmm.
30 days of carnivore. We did it, what is it, April that we did that?
May 1st.
May
Yeah.
1st.
Yeah.
So May 1st, we did the carnivore challenge. We wanted to prove it wrong, and it didn't prove us wrong.
It kind of kicked us in the butt.
It really
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
I like to compare it to fasting, but you eat.
Yes. You eat a lot and you're never hungry.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So it's a great detox, another form of detox from so
Yeah.
much garbage that we consume.
Yeah. I noticed something, when I brought in the Trixie, come lay down.
You've got some very sad doggies
Oh
over
my
there
gosh.
today.
Yes. I've got one out there howling because the other one is hormonal and this one just won't lay down. Hey, lay down. Right here. Lay down.
So I
Okay.
don't want to.
Yeah. She drives me nuts.
I do what I want.
But I noticed something as the garden has kind of, exploded now. I'm mostly carnivore, but I have gone, I'm eating out of the garden now. And I
Hmm.
just noticed that I'm just hungry. I'm
Yeah.
hungry all the time. And, I'm triggered more. I don't know if it's the sweetness and the tomatoes that I'm eating. I don't know what it is. Now, one time, and half my Facebook page said I'm anti-veggie, which I'm not.
No,
Um, gotta love
you're
those people.
definitely not.
Gotta love those people. But cabbage kicked my butt. I had cabbage that one time, and oh my gosh, my joints hurt. My
Hmm.
fingers turned blue. It was horrible.
Wait a minute. What kind of blue? Like that kind of blue?
No, I'm kidding. But I really do love the fact of never being hungry. I
Right.
just love that. And we decided we made a decision yesterday in our company that we are going to launch a carnivore lane. So
Hmm.
when you come to us and when you do the interview with us and when we're trying to find out your best treatment plan, carnivore will be one of your choices that you'll have to choose from. If you're just not down that keto lane yet. You want some instant healing results. You want the most ultimate detox form we have. We are going to actually teach carnivore now, and that will be an official program of KM Health Coaching. So
Yeah.
we're pretty excited about that.
Right.
I know I'm not excited about that because I'm mad about it actually because I didn't want to include it. I'm like, I wanted Dr. Barry to be wrong. I wanted him to because it it's not entirely sustainable if you're not in it for the health. If
Hmm.
you're in it for weight loss, it is not a weight loss lane. It is a healing lane.
Right.
It is a metabolic lane. If you want to get rid of diabetes, if you want to get rid of PCOS, it's the fastest way to do that.
Right.
And so,
But if you're just walking in from the streets,
yeah.
living the standard American diet
Hmm.
lifestyle right now, more than likely you are going to lose
Exactly.
a good amount of weight.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know,
I've lost 30 pounds since January, and 15 of that was carnivore.
nice.
So, and I didn't have that much to lose. And so, when you don't have a lot to lose, you're going to take a lot longer to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's going to be exciting. I just put it on our website yesterday. We just created the program. It's going to be about 30 days. Now we are going to do a group coaching October 1st. If you have not
Mhm.
got your tickets to do that, go grab them right away. It's
Right.
at kmhealthcoaching.org. You will see a big honkin' steak on our site, and that's where you get your ticket for
Right.
that. So
Hey,
it's a lot more fun when you do it as a group.
it really is. I also wanted to add um that thing that we also added for the other gender. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word gender anymore, but the other
Yes. Hormone
the
hormone
other
program.
hormone
Yes.
program that we
Yes.
have is just for men. We have that area, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, we do. Oh,
We have
I
a
see what you mean. A
yes.
men's only program. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm following you.
that's the other gender. The men's only program.
Yes.
We've had a lot of actually I've had a lot of men
Mm-hmm.
interested in our program, but they're like, your program seems to really focus on women. And yeah, it does. It really does. But we do
Well, women are
have
more complicated.
we are very
They take more of our
complicated.
time. The
They
men just
do.
do the things, they lose
Hmm.
the weight, they get
Yeah.
muscles, and then they leave.
Right.
That's
Right.
why.
And they learn and they thrive and they get out, they reverse their medications, all sorts of things. So we do have a men's only area
Mm-hmm.
for you guys out there. Don't just go away just because you think that, oh, there's these
Mm-hmm.
women
You have your
coaching
own
and
website now
yeah.
on our website. You have your own page. So yeah,
Right.
it is the case. Women take longer.
Hmm.
We have a lot of and I'm not projecting or I'm not, profiling, but I kind of am. Women take longer emotionally. They take because there's so many things that are healing in our body from our hormones, to the cellular level, to our headspace. Not saying that men don't go through this because they do. They go through it in a different way. And so we have to separate those programs because we have different needs.
Yes.
Men are different than women, believe it or not.
Yeah. So go check that out, guys. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I mean, that's one thing that men
Yeah,
probably do struggle with is asking for help because they want to do things on their own. But
exactly.
if you're
And you
living
could
your
hurt yourself.
life, yeah,
You could really
exactly.
hurt yourself if
Yeah,
you do it alone. Yes, Sancy says women are more needy.
we are.
You're right. You're right. But I love
Facts.
it. I love it. I love getting in the pit. I love working through those emotions. I love working through those issues. And that's we love it. And
Yeah.
with the guys, we just say, well, how's it working for you? Let's try it this way. They do it, they lose the weight, bingo, they're done.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
all right. So we are kind of morphing into the topic of the day, and that is you got 3 months left. So remember
Yeah.
those resolutions you made in January? How's it going? Is it going?
You s-
Did you fall off the plan? Did you forget what you had promised yourself in January? If you have, it's time to hop back on. It's time because you only have 3 months left. We are reaching the end of this, and you promised yourself that you were going to change in January. And this is the most busy time of the year for us as health coaches because moms are sending their kids back to school, and the focus is not on the kids anymore. They can finally zone back into themselves, and they can finally put themselves first. The first time you put those kids on the bus, you can breathe a sigh of relief and say, oh my gosh, I just wasted 2 months of my journey. I better get my crap together.
right.
And so that's what we want to talk about today. It's August. Where are you in your journey? Have you met your goals? If you haven't, is it time? So, Darcy, you want to kick us off?
Sure. So after we, like what coach was talking about, we have gone through vacations, we've gone through family gatherings, we've gone through getaways, we've gone through the kids being at home, and we put all that aside because we have this fear of missing out.
Mm-hmm.
If we are feeling the aches, the pains, the internal needs for your body, and you're just putting aside because there's no time to make a proper meal for yourself, or you think of all the summer meals and the corn on the cob, all those things that people do in the summertime. Well, I was sitting down and thinking, I'm like, you know what, for me, I'm ready to fill in the blank. Like, I'm ready
Mm-hmm.
to get my stuff together. Like, my house is a pit from
Mm-hmm.
vacation stuff, and I'm just catching up on the kitchen work, and there just seems to be no time because everything else keeps coming in front. It keeps
Yeah.
coming in, and then it's easy to just have what is light and what is quick and what is easy. And we've done that now probably from the end of May until now.
Yeah.
And even if you don't have kids right now, there are still things that get in your way. There are still things that, and I find that many of my clients are the fear of missing out. They have
Yeah.
FOMO
Yeah.
because they don't want to miss out on the traditions that they normally do each summer,
Mm-hmm.
or they don't. I don't know. They're getting distracted by other things, and I won't
Yeah.
like the easy quick out of shots and other
Mm-hmm.
things. Like, there's different things that are sidetracking you.
It's a shiny object
There's
syndrome. They're
yes.
looking at their friends and they're like, my friends are taking this drug. They're losing weight really quickly, so I might as well join them. But
Yeah.
what they don't know and what they don't understand is those friends are getting ready to have that weight come raging back because they didn't do it the right way. They took a shortcut and they're hurting their body. 70% of the weight comes back the minute they stop those shots. And the thing I read this week really, it made me sad because number one, I empathize with people on the shot. I empathize with them because at 250 pounds, I probably would have been the same thing, same way. I probably would have, taken that shortcut. But what this article that I read this week is actually very frightening because the FDA is getting ready to remove um, the shot from the I can't make enough list. I forget what the supply chain. They're
Okay.
getting ready to remove it, which means all of these people who are getting the compound for free will no longer get it.
Mm,
So suddenly, all of these people who are or paying less money for the compound, all of these people suddenly will not be able to get the drug at the cost. So they're going to have to pay the $1,300, and the drug companies are going to catch on to that and raise the price
yeah.
and make it so expensive that nobody can
Demand.
afford to do it.
Yeah.
And so all of these women, I know men are on it too, but all of these women and men who are on the shot will suddenly not have it available. And what are they going to do? 70% of that weight will come back fast, 5 pounds a week, fast. and when they can't get it anymore, and they'll be stuck with what do I do? And then what breaks my heart about this, I was going to bring a soapbox out.
I I
What
was
breaks my heart about this is these women think it's their fault. They think they're eating healthy. They come off of this drug. They think they're eating healthy, and they are eating healthy. Some of these people truly went into it in attempt to change their life. Many did not. Many went into it with give me a shortcut. I don't even want to take this when I'm on a cruise or when I'm on a vacation because I don't want to be puking the whole time. And so many of them are not. But a lot of these people are taking this shot. And when they lose it, they're still eating healthy, but the weight is piling on their body.
mhm,
And it's a simple math problem. It's a
right,
simple math problem of metabolic adaptation because they were not eating enough and now they're eating healthy. It's just a simple science. But the drug companies don't tell you that because they need you on the drug for the
right,
rest of your life. So the only way you're going to get to keep this weight off is if you spend $1,300 a month, which that's going to be going up because of the supply and demand, is to keep on it for the rest of your life. That's the
right.
only way you'll keep it off unless you do it the right way. And so my heart, because we are living maintenance, you and I had a rough summer last. I mean, I will talk about me. I
I
had a
will
rough
say
summer. Did you?
you can just go ahead and add me to
Okay.
that list.
Join my suffering
Yeah.
because we had a rough summer last year. I had put on about 15 pounds and I had stopped tracking. I had gone through kind of a depression, kind of just a funk.
There's a dark
It was
dark
a dark
side.
summer last
Yeah,
year.
it was.
And and so yeah, we are living the maintenance and we know how hard it is. We
Right.
know how deeply, I mean, it's the hardest thing I've ever done, keeping the weight off. And so when I see some people taking this shortcut and I see where they're headed, it just breaks my heart. It
Right.
really breaks my heart. And I just want to shout, please, please don't do it. At least get the coaching while you're doing it. Get the reverse diet, get the metabolic adaptation healed before you get off of it. By the way, we need you 4 months before you stop the shot. If you are on it, first of all, don't take any shame if you're on it because I understand. Don't coach and I understand how you feel, right? We've been there. It was 250 pounds, I probably would have done it, not
Right.
knowing what we know now.
Right.
But we need you to not stop it. We hate the shot, but please don't stop the shot
Right.
because in order for you to get off of this medication, this conversation kind of took a curve from school, but we're coming back to school. But I'm telling you, please don't stop the shot because if you stop the shot, the weight's piling on 5 pounds a week, and there's nothing we can do to help you stop that. What we need you to do is we need you to be on the shot while when you're coming to us, and then we start a strategic exit from it. And it takes about 4 months to get away from it. So put it in your budget that you need you need at least 3 more months before you come off of it if you're going to do it correctly.
Right.
So don't shame yourself. There's no room for shame. Charlotte, there's no room for shame. There's no room for panic. Okay. Unless you're going to stop. If you're going to just stop the shot, yeah, you better panic because it's coming back fast. And if you've lost 70 pounds, you can guarantee you're going to gain about 100.
Mm,
Okay. So if you were going to
right.
just stop the shot cold turkey, yes, panic. But
Right.
don't. If you have not stopped, don't panic.
Right. And speaking of budget, budget is been kind of the key word lately because we're seeing that
Mm-hmm.
in all of
Yeah,
our pockets and all
we
of
are.
our wallets, in the banks. All of that stuff is happening. So you want to look at long-term lifestyle versus something that is easily um
Mm-hmm.
drains you of every a bit of money that you have,
Yeah.
and it's gonna not
Mm-hmm.
take a long-term effect.
Yeah.
So what we do, and here's the thing, but going back to where we were, we have 3 months until the holidays hit, and that
Yeah.
first holiday that I'm including is Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
because that is like let's revolve this holiday around candy and passing out candy, and then our parents eating the candy of the kids and all those things that happen. Fall. Let's talk about fall. I know a lot of people love that word, fall, and they're already in their sweaters
Mm-hmm.
and knitted socks and their beanies, all those things, drinking their spice pumpkin lattes, like those types of things. That's why I say we have 3 months until that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
give or take.
Yeah.
And so if you start now, you've got a good 3 months under your belt of learning the ins and outs of a healthier lifestyle. That is in the long haul, it is we're teaching you how to fish for yourself so that you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to depend on anybody else, and we're empowering you with taking control of your health and not needing anybody else to tell you how to eat,
Right.
to tell you what to put in your body, no
Mm-hmm.
medications going in there, hopefully, things like this.
Mm-hmm.
So you are empowering yourself to be able to be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to the budget, going back there, then jumping backwards, think of it this way. You're going through the drive through of Starbucks, and I know I have seen somebody spend over $10 a day on a coffee. That's
Mm-hmm.
one coffee when they
Oh
probably
yeah.
go in there a couple times.
Yeah.
You think about budgeting something towards you and healthier you. This right here is like it's piece of cake.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that would be worthwhile, a long-term investment versus a short term,
Yeah.
where
And
the shots would be short term.
typically our 3 month, which is our signature program, if we get you for 3 months, we can teach you everything we know. We can also walk you through a couple of the pits that you fall into.
Mhm.
And typically the weight loss in those 3 months are about 25 to 30 pounds. So if you kind of and if you have over 100 pounds to lose, I want you to mark off a year of your life.
Yeah.
It's going to take a year, 2 years possibly, 2 years comfortably, right?
Yes.
And so if you have 100 pounds to lose, I want you to look at, what are we, August 6th? So next year, 2025, in August 6th, you're going to be nearing 100 pounds down if you continue the program. Now we have clients who come to us with over 100 pounds to lose, and they're not serious about it, and they lose the same 10 pounds over and over and over, and we
Yeah.
just we just rinse and repeat, 10 pounds at a time. If you're serious and if you want this bad, mark out the next year and a half of your life and just get busy.
Right.
Just pull the plug. What in the world are you waiting for?
And I think we like the 3 month program because you do have that personality out there that
Mm-hmm.
gets overwhelmed with that number of a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole
Yeah,
year away. So
exactly.
it overwhelms them. So that's why we like to take it 3 months at a time.
Mm-hmm.
3 months at a time gives you that goal each month
Yeah,
of I can do this for 3 months. And
yeah,
then when that 3 months is over, then we start all over.
yep,
Another 3 months, you can do this. And by then you're at 6 months.
yeah,
Then you don't have very much longer to
yeah,
really and by then you have this awakening
yeah,
in your eyes, like the scales have come off of your eyes, and you see what we're trying to tell you that you
yeah.
you should see. This
Exactly. Yeah.
this
And
motivation.
the only reason why you would want to purchase the 12-month with us, which we only have a couple of slots, because when we work with a 12-monther, they've got our full attention.
Right.
We've got them for a year, but the cool thing about that is the panic of time is off of their shoulders. They ease into it. They just do the things. And we have the opportunity to do 3 reverse diets with those folks because we have time with them, and they're
Right.
not panicked, and they just do the things, and it is the most peaceful weight loss program that I've ever experienced, those ones that come to me at a year. But
Right.
the only reason why you would need that is if you need the financial accountability. If you have tried diets and quit and tried them and quit and try, and if you've been on the diet yo-yo circle and you're like, the only way I will stick with the program is if I pay for it for a year. And that is
Hmm.
why most of the people join the year program, is because they're like, I've already tried this and I failed. And I know my personality and I'm willing to be honest. And I need to pay for it up front so that I don't lose that. And
Right.
and I love that. I love financial accountability. But I love more that those clients are more peaceful that come to us. They're not stressed out. They just do the things. They lose about 2 pounds a week, 1 to 2 pounds a week, and they glide into their healing. It's the most beautiful healing process that I've seen,
Right.
when they do it right.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the cool part about it.
Which brings me to, if you don't know what type of personality you are and what type
Hmm.
of need you have, that's why we have our free consultation
Yeah.
call. And so which that helps us put you in the right program.
Hmm. Yeah.
helps us to assess like, okay, well, this person seems to be pretty driven and A, B,
Mhm.
and C. Maybe they're on the brink of their rock bottom and they are willing to get
Mhm.
going and moving because they know this is their last chance.
Yeah.
Those people are usually the ones that are mostly driven. So
Yeah.
they may not have a whole year that they need to be with us. So
Yeah.
we don't want to get you in a program that is not meant for you.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, to be honest, there are people that the finances drive which program that
Mhm.
they are in. Um,
Yeah. We're
we
in a
do our,
recession right now.
yeah, we
We're
are in a
feeling it
race.
too, you
We are
know?
feeling it. So, get on a free call with us. What's it gonna hurt?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. Because you made promises to yourself in January. We are, you know, we are 9 months in, 8 months in, and where are you in your goals? What did you say to yourself in January? I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to reverse type 2 diabetes. I'm going to reverse my PCOS. I'm going to lose weight. Have you done that? If you haven't, stop it with the shame and just start.
Right,
It's just as easy as that.
right.
When you're ready to lose weight, you will do it. If you have not lost weight and you promised yourself that you would in January, if you've not done it, you weren't ready. When you're ready to lose weight, you will do it,
Mhm.
right?
Yep. We can't want it for you. That's the biggest
No,
thing when we do the consultation. If
right.
you are giving any signs of wishy-washiness and oh, I just want to fit into my swimsuit or for a
Mm-mm.
wedding or an event that you just want to look good and don't want to, be ashamed of your photos.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of are like, well, it looks like we're going to want it more for you.
Yeah.
And we want health healthy health
Mm-hmm.
for everybody, more than you can even imagine. Like
Yeah.
this is our passion. We are just driven to help other people, and that's what we do every single day. And
Because we
when
lived
we
it.
because we lived it, we know what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
We've been there. Every situation is different. Your story is different from my story, but in the same way, in the same breath, we are still walking a similar pathway and
Yeah.
have that same passion. But the biggest thing is if we want it more than you want it, then it's not going to work. So
It's
you
not
might
going to
as
work.
well just stop.
No,
No
no.
way. You've got to want it. You've got to be able to
Yeah.
put yourself first. You've got to be
Yeah.
able to say, this is not a selfish thing if I put myself first
No.
and my health first. I've done it enough.
Yeah.
And so you've got to have that enough moment.
Yeah. Desperation will drive your journey for sure. And it wasn't until I couldn't be a mom that I needed to be for my kids that I made that choice. I lived for 25 years as an obese woman, and there was nothing I did worked because I didn't want it enough until I looked my son in the eye and he said, "Mom, let's go on a roller coaster." Till I had to tell him no because I was too big for the rides. I wasn't ready. Finally,
Right.
I said, okay, whatever it takes. When we get a client that comes to us and says, I will do whatever you tell me to do, we have a victory client right there. We know
Yeah,
that that client is going to come to us and in a couple of months and say, I'm hitting my 70-pound goal.
that's right.
We know that. And so I live for those days. I live for those days. When we have clients who come to us and say, well, I did great until this family thing on on Saturday, and I just decided to throw caution to the wind. I just decided to go off plan. Or when we start to see signs like that, or we start to see a client not track their food, when we start to see a client
Mm,
skip a call with their coach, we know that we've lost them and we
right.
know it. But what's really sad about that, when we start to see those signs, is because you are a macro coach, and when you message me and say, hey, so and so is not tracking, I mean, I'm a dramatic person, but I've been in this business long enough. We're headed to our 10-year coaching anniversary here.
No,
Not
we're
too
not.
long, just a couple.
What?
I mean, we are
Couple
we are
years.
headed there. We're on the
We are.
other side
Man.
of the we've been coaching 7 years now. So we're on the other side of that. And so we have enough experience to know when I get that call from Coach Darcy, that client is on the way to gaining 20 pounds. I mean, that is not
Yeah,
exaggerating.
it's not.
When I get a call from Coach Darcy for one of my clients that says she hasn't tracked in a week, I can pretty much say that client is going to gain 20 pounds. Not exaggerating. That's just the first sign. They've checked
Right.
out. They would rather let their family control them, and they're checking out of their journey. And so we know that. We know the statistics on that. So we do everything we can to grab that client right back and say, "Listen,
Right.
you're headed down the wrong path." And that's why diets by themselves don't work. Sometimes people can do it by themselves, but without that
Mhm.
accountability and without that fishing that we do as coaches, sometimes that's the yo-yo factor of it. And that's why when you don't tell people that you're on a diet or changing your lifestyle, you're going to be off of it within three
Yeah.
weeks for sure.
And if you do share it and then you let their words guide how you are moving forward,
Hmm.
that's the other thing. You've got to be bold in your
Yeah.
own, empower yourself. That word empowerment, you're going to hear that a
Ooh.
lot from me
Yeah. Yeah.
because I 100% believe that we've got to we've got to hold true to what we want in the end. And if
Hmm.
that's whole body healing, like you're going to let somebody else guide your cart,
Hmm.
your car, whatever you are, you're going to let somebody else
Right.
dictate where you're
Yeah.
going to end up or what you're going to do with fear mongering.
Yeah.
Like that's come on now.
Oh, I tell you what, I
Did I
had a
say?
week and a half. I had a week and a half today with stupid people in the medical field. My
Mm,
word.
mm,
Guys, take your health care in your own hands. Educate yourself. Take your health care in your own hands and let your doctors know that you've got it. Grab the book, please.
this book. If is it backwards or can you
It's
see it? Hold on.
backwards. Yeah.
It's Common Sense Labs.
Yeah. Guys,
Dr. Barry and Kim Howerton.
our medical field at this point, with the disclaimer of there's some really good ones,
Yes.
Dr. Barry being one of them.
Yes.
Our medical field is not fighting for your health. They're fighting to drug you. That is the experience that I have had this week with clients.
Mm-hmm.
They're there to drug you. They're
I
drug
mean, it's in their
pushers.
name, MD, medical doctor,
Truly. Oh my
medicine.
gosh. It's been a bad week with that. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Patients are taking back their life, and they're just telling the doctors, "Heck with you. My labs right now, especially with the carnivore stuff. With the
Yeah.
carnivore stuff, people are fixing their health. Like
Hmm.
they are healing their bodies and they're getting their labs. And doctors are speechless. They're not knowing what to do because their labs are fixing themselves and it's being done with food. Crazy stuff.
I'm laughing at Vonda's message. Sorry. I
we did
wasn't
we had
laughing.
an employee review this week. So I own this company and Darcy works for me. She actually contracts for me. But we pretended like she was an employee, and I said, you know what, let's do a employee review this week. Vonda's a client of mine, and I said, let's put some donuts in your macros. Vonda wouldn't touch a donut if you put a pew pew to her head. She would not touch. She would not touch a donut. So Vonda got ornery with me, and she put a donut in her tracker, of which Darcy was tracking the next day, and we were gonna fire Darcy if she didn't catch it, and it was funny.
Okay, you try to
It was.
fire me.
It was really
Do it.
funny. We had a good time. We had a really good time
Oh,
doing
yeah,
that.
it was a blast.
Yeah. Poor Darcy didn't know what to say.
I
She didn't know what
did.
to say.
I had good
You were
things to
very
say.
professional. You were like, I hope your tummy feels okay, Vonda. Remember your goals. It was fun. It was fun. We won't
Yeah.
do it again though. We won't. Because we don't want you to
Right.
quit.
Right.
We don't
We'll
want you to quit.
see. We'll see about that.
We'll come up with some other
I can
things.
take a company joke.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It was funny. We were just counting down the minutes till I got the phone call from Darcy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well,
you did take quite a while to
I,
respond.
listen, I just got off vacation. But in all seriousness, do ask yourself if you made a goal for yourself, if you had envisioned yourself in a different space during this time, in this moment, and you've asked yourself, okay, what happened? Look back at your calendar and see all the things that have disrupted those
Mm-hmm.
moments, because that's the best thing for you to be able to hold yourself accountable for,
Mm-hmm.
of those times where, oh, I'm just going to give in one time.
Yeah.
Let me go back to a story real quick about when I first started, and it wasn't doing keto. It was when I just declared myself going low carb, and I still had tortillas. I had a bean and cheese burrito every single day, maybe two of them.
Mm-hmm.
That was my low carb and no sugar, and I ate sugar free items. So those was me like doing really well. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I lost 30 pounds doing this. But those 30 pounds came raging back when I said, you know, Tuesday is a girls' night and they
Mm-hmm.
have such good food, and I'm gonna treat myself on girls' night. I had a busy week. I'm gonna do
Mm-hmm.
this. Now, listen, we had girls' night every single week. We did a Tuesday night
Yeah.
every single week, and I would say that would be my night. And
Mm-hmm.
then the weekends came along, and there was events that held delicious food, and then I'd say, oh, just this time.
Just
and
this
it
time.
and I looked at my calendar, and I looked back at how many times I said, I'm gonna do this only for this time, or
Mm-hmm.
only for this time I'm gonna have this, or fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would also binge myself on the sugar-free candies that they
Oh
had
yeah.
that were just full of crap.
Yeah.
When I did that, and when I let each day creep back in,
Mm-hmm.
I gained the 30 pounds back.
Yep.
And then I wondered why I wasn't where I wanted to be, why
Mm-hmm.
I still felt so gross in my clothes, why I still had that inside dark feeling of,
Mm-hmm.
you're just a failure.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. The just
When
one
you
bite syndrome
just
is what we
one
call
bite
it.
syndrome, and it just starts to add back. If that's
Mm-hmm.
what happened to you since January, I'll give you to April. April is
Mm-hmm.
probably the time where you still kept hold
Yes.
true to your goal. If you held true till April and then kind of started adding things in, and then
Yeah.
vacation happened,
Yep.
and then this happened, and then we had these getaways,
Mm-hmm.
and you just did the things that everybody else was doing because everybody else was doing
Yeah.
them. If you're there, you have
Yeah.
3 more months
Yeah.
until the
So
holiday
probably
struggles
on the
come back.
timeline of their New Year's resolutions would be from January till April. You probably lost about 25 to 30 pounds.
Mhm.
Okay. From January to April. And then summertime hit. My guess is you have gained about 10 to 15 of that back. So
Right.
you haven't. So you're still in a place that you can save your journey, right? You can still reach a 50-pound loss by January 1st again. But my guess is the summertime probably added about 10 to 15 pounds of that 20 to 25 that you lost.
Mhm.
So that's typically the diet circle when you're not serious about changing your life for good, when you're not like, okay, not ever going back again. And we know when a client reaches that point of never going back again,
Yeah.
right? We
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
And then what happens after that is they reach about a 75 pound loss for the year, and then they take that last 6 months and they finish off their journey right
Yeah.
there. But
If
don't do the regain in the summer. Don't do that.
Right. I was just thinking about, some people have maybe struggled so long, so often, that they've never been able to hit that goal and that feeling
Mhm.
of freedom.
Mhm.
When you hit that moment, that's that moment that we're talking about,
Yeah.
when a client's not willing to go backwards.
Mhm.
If you have not hit that moment of freedom, of feeling no more aches and pains in your knees, in your joints, anything that's, you're not feeling great, having this
Mhm.
mental clarity that you've never had before, remembering where your keys were left last,
Yeah.
you know, when you have that freedom, there's no going back. Because if you do
Mm-mm.
end up having something that maybe wasn't healthy for you,
Mhm.
and you did give in to what everybody else is, and then the next day you felt gross,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's an awakening of like, oh yeah, I remember why I don't eat these things, because
Right.
I don't like feeling like crap.
Yeah.
This is not where I want to be. There's that freedom that you need to hold on to, that freedom of feeling amazing.
Yeah. And then there's the time where, okay, you've reached your goal and you start to regain some weight. So that is normal too. That is not, you don't have to panic. That's what Darcy and I were
Hmm.
describing that hit us last
Yeah.
summer. You've got to find your new life again. when it comes to maintenance, you've got to figure maintenance out, because we are so used to seeing that scale fall. Suddenly, when we don't want it to fall, or when we don't care that it doesn't fall anymore, we tend to get a little bit loosey goosey. And we're like, okay, well, what does this mean? Can I add anything back? Should I add anything back? Can I track? Can I not track? My problem was I stopped tracking. And I knew that I was a creature of habit and I eat the same things every day. Well, I wasn't adding that extra scoop of, almond butter, or I was not measuring my steak. Now, I realized after I lost this 30 pounds again, I realized, okay, I'm going to have to be okay in my own personal journey. I'm going to have to be okay with having to track, with
Hmm.
having to measure. And because I like how I feel now, and I did not like how I felt last summer, and I'm okay with that. I have come to the okayness of, Monica, this is how you're going to live. You're headed into, the menopause season. You're in perimenopause right now. Your body is not acting like it was when it was 20, right? And so there's things that I'm going to have to do for the rest of my life,
Right.
and things that I had taken my foot off of the accelerator after I had hit that magical number on the scale. So it's all normal. We talked to our weight loss support group yesterday about the changes in your journey being completely normal, and sometimes people panic and they freak out because they're going through a really mundane season, or they're going through a sad season, or they're going through a busy season, and they freak out and they overcorrect when they freak out, and they think they're broken and they think they're weird, and they're not. It's completely normal to have those feelings. It's completely normal in your healing journey. And so we had a great session with them yesterday
Hmm.
on the normalness of the emotions of this.
Minus Darcy's Wi-Fi.
Darcy was frozen half the time.
I had a
I
lot of things I wanted to say,
I
and
was
when I
so
did say it,
frustrated for you.
it sounded like I was shaming them. I'm like, no,
No, no, I think you read into that completely wrong, because I
that's
didn't
how
hear
I'm
you say
feeling
that.
because of my Wi-Fi. Oh,
No, no, I didn't hear it. I just always have to put a plug in for my addictions patients. It's just something that I'm going to have
all
to do for
right.
the rest of my life. So, guys, if you're frustrated, you've got 3 months left. You can recover what you lost this summer. You
Yeah.
can do it with some help. Just give us a call. We dropped the link right there in the show notes. kmhealthcoaching.org. Coach Darcy has a page. By the way, if you have not, I have done some major work over on
Yeah.
that website.
Yeah.
Can you
It's
hear my
awesome.
dog howling in the
He's
background?
he's very sad.
I
You need to send that guy
I
to
want to
school.
drop him off on a field and not go pick him up. That's how I do not
Oh,
like this
no,
dog right
no,
now.
no, no, no. I was gonna say you love that dog.
I do.
Yeah. she, she says, "I love that dog. He can do no wrong
Well,
until he senses females in the
females,
department."
yeah, and that was our fault. We never got our female fixed, because just we never she's not around male dogs, and
Yeah.
she's just the whole cancer thing, she wasn't bothering me at all. Well, now she bothers Remington, because Remington can't get fixed until he's, oh, 19 days he can get fixed.
Okay, so you got night
And
countdown.
yesterday I got these out and I'm like, how hard would this surgery be?
No, no. You're gonna have PETA after you.
I'm like, I know what
Oh my
parts need to
goodness.
come off. My gosh. So Remington
Oh,
is up for grabs. Anybody wants a
yeah.
male Great Dane right now? Mm-mm. I'll make a deal.
Oh my goodness. I tell
So
you,
he's in his cage right now. I can't even take him today.
it's all right. Well, the other day, this is not about my dog. This is about my hair in my head. I don't know what it is about the season right now, but I basically wanted to shave my head off and like stick it in acid because that would give me some relief. I know that's extreme and it's
We
very
are not
like
extreme coaches.
dramatic. Um, but that's how I felt. So I was blessed with the genetics of psoriasis and eczema. So any of you that have
Mhm.
that, then and when allergies are hitting, that's where it hits me is with my head. It doesn't hit me necessarily here. It hits me in my head. So I did all sorts of research thinking, okay, what's wrong with me? Because this is ridiculous. I thought, it could be estrogen levels, which I only had one symptom of that. And then I
You
went
were
to,
Dr. Googling
I was
yourself.
Dr. Googling myself, and I came across some really interesting information about B vitamins. You know, how we talk about often how we're so mineral deficient in certain minerals. And I learned from a farmer, it's not necessarily if you have like a local farm and your farm has a lot of magnesium in it, it could be like low in another mineral. So I learned that yes, our farmlands are depleted in magnesium quite a bit, but may not be everywhere. It may mean in certain areas. So this is long story short, I did a mineral research and I found this thing about thyroid and then how B vitamins are very, very important for our thyroid and for our skin. And so I decided, because there are so many different types of B vitamins, B1, 2, 3, and I'm like, okay, how can I get this B1? How can I get this B? So I found a B complex, right? Now, I'm not sure if this is exactly the fix-all, but I took a vitamin B complex. Hey, Clark, we're not doing that. I took a vitamin B complex, and I felt like everything went quiet
Wow.
on my head.
That's amazing.
Isn't that like my head went so quiet and the itchiness, like I had like the little, like obviously like the little, every now and again itches from my psoriasis, but the overall itchiness, it was a peace that I had. I'm like, no, I don't have to stick my head in acid anymore.
I'm so glad. So glad.
So do your research before you
Oh.
just be like, go and trust somebody saying that they're going to give you some sort of medical shampoo for your head when it's not really that's not the
Right.
problem.
Yeah.
That was my long story.
I love biohacking.
I know.
When it works.
Right. Right. I know that was really random, but I really wanted to share that.
Yeah.
Like B
That's
vitamin
awesome.
complex is and there's a lot more things for like cellular health.
Yep.
And there's other benefits for
A lot of
your
benefits to B.
livers and your heart, all things.
Yeah. And on the other flip side of that, we found out omegas is a blood thinner this week.
Yes.
Our client found out the hard way about omegas being a blood thinner. So,
interesting, huh?
Yeah. Oh, when we get into the whole supplement world, it's just fascinating. But one of my favorite things is I stopped all supplements when we went carnivore, and that was very good to do because then you knew when you add that stuff back. So many of us have been taking supplements for so many years that I think we've adapted to them. And when you stop them, and obviously with the help of your doctor, but when you stop them and then you add the ones that you need back in, you just feel incredible. So we waste a lot of money on needless supplements.
We do.
MLM companies.
We really do.
So, hey guys, we are here every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We love to chat with you. We'd love to hear what topics you want us to talk about. Sometimes we get bored with ourselves and we're like, what do we talk about? What is there to talk about today? What soapbox did we get out today? So, we just did a fun podcast last time. It's going to be released next week.
What did we end up titling that?
The things, Keto and Politics Unleashed. So we were like, we just got out our soapbox and that's all we did. We didn't step down the entire time. And we just went off the rails.
Oh, those are my favorite though.
I know.
As controversial and they do.
They really get angry.
You know what where I see this? I see our pet peeves and the things that annoy us as us being curious and not just settling, right? And I encourage that for everyone to not just settle with the information that you're being fed, but actually get curious. So, and you can do that with your health because health is, oh my goodness, health and politics are becoming one now. Like food and politics are becoming one now. So whatever.
And there is a left side and a right side.
There is.
Food politics.
Yes.
And those left side and the right side match politically as well.
It is. And
there's exceptions, obviously. But I'm noticing if I had to, if I had to take a bird's eye view, the left and the right match the naturopath versus medical. Just does.
It's interesting. Yeah. It's very interesting. So be curious. Don't just settle for, some people, I feel like some people honestly have passed away when they shouldn't have had to.
Needlessly. 100%.
Needlessly. Because of the unknowns
Yep.
and just pill poppers and all those things.
Drug
So
dealers.
anyway.
Take your health into your own hands because you
Yeah.
have the power in your own hands to make your own decisions for your own body.
Yes.
Make those decisions and be brave, be bold, do the daring things, do the hard things.
Yeah.
Because that's what we've chosen to do and it's changed our life.
Yeah.
So, hey, Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I opened with the closing, but I feel like I still need to close with the closing as well because just the way that the show went today. So
You're not going to do the backwards?
No, because I am really keen to ending the stream when I need to on the 2nd for that closing. I know.
Right.
So we're not sitting here at the end of the closing with us, looking really funny.
They're going to take that photo that we just did just now, and that's going to be our cover photo.
It's true. Hey, guess what? We just scheduled our husbands with the interviewer tomorrow night at 6:00. They are going to be recording, and we got an amazing guy. Rob Kendall has agreed to interview our husbands. We wanted them to be truthful, and I'm going to set it all up. I'm going to set up the sound. I'm going to do all that, and then I'm leaving the office, and I'm really actually nervous. I'm really nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Out of their mouth. So, yeah, we're going to record that tomorrow, and then
we're an open book.
At the end of August when we post that. So. Marriage and weight loss, how that impacts your.
Did we ever finish our other series on that, or was that our last one to that series?
We're waiting for our husbands.
Okay.
We're waiting because we did the friends.
Okay, yeah, we did. Yeah.
Now we're waiting for the husbands.
Yeah.
And so we're going to record that tomorrow night.
It's exciting.
Yeah. I'm really grateful for Rob for doing that because it's really such a help to us.
Yeah.
They would give us a really rough interview if we interviewed them.
I don't know. Yeah, they probably would.
I would not trust the outcome on my side of the camera.
Right.
I want to know how they really feel, or do we really want to know?
No, we do. Does
our audience want to know what the husbands thought?
Right.
Will we have to bloop anything?
Knowing Mark.
It may just be a 2-person show, and we may be the ones that are listening to it.
That's fine,
I get
too.
the final call on that one. All right, guys. We will see you next Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Bye.
Monica here. Guess what? If you're fed up with feeling stuck in your battle with weight or food, I've got something just for you. Check out our free Facebook groups. Over at Food Addiction and Recovery, I'm over there waiting for you. We're going to walk this journey together. It's about getting real, sharing our stories, and lifting each other up. We're in this together every step of the way. And if you're curious about changing your life with keto, the Weight Loss Project is where you want to be. Coach Darcy is amazing. And together, we're not just talking about losing weight. We're talking about finding a happier, healthier you. So, what do you say? Are you ready to join us? The links are in the show notes below, and I'm telling you, this is more than an invite. It is the start of something.